Good episode of the Kickback. I am your host, the dude. And as we do every week, if you can read the statement that's inside the box on the screen, it says, we don't go for anything foul, any racism, any bad language, any of those things. We do not tolerate it. We are here to empower and to inform men, community. This is a kickback. I am your host, the dude, and this is another episode of Topic Tuesday. Tonight we have a wonderful guest.
The kickback, the place for brothers. Yeah. The kickback, a place for brothers. Yeah. The kickback, a place for brothers. Yeah. The kickback, a place for brothers. The kickback, a place for brothers. The kickback, a place for brothers. The kickback, a place.
Good afternoon, Mr. Sterling Wright.
Can you hear me?
Yes, sir, I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Yes, sir. How you doing today? The dude?
I am fine. This is the kickback. This is a place for brothers where we have true, transparent, and vulnerable conversations about life, love, and the everyday struggles of a man. We like to welcome you, Mr. 100, to the
Man,
kickback.
what's up? Man, thank you, man.
You're welcome, sir. You are an ordinary person that's doing extraordinary things in your community.
Yes. Well, I can't take the credit. I got to give credit to God.
There you go.
Man, I couldn't have done it without him.
Listen, I tell people all the time, God gave me this idea to have a place for men to come and have real transparent conversations. It's all through him. I ain't got nothing to do with it. It's all through him. People just, they like to give credit to themselves, but I don't give no credit to myself. It's all God.
What you said, man.
All God.
Hey, hold up. That's my line. You can't do that.
I'm sorry. I just did it, and you just came in without saying what's up. You just jumped right in. That's my line.
That's
What's up, Dave?
Good evening to y'all.
Dave.
What's up, Dave, man?
Man, how y'all doing tonight?
Man, I'm 100, man. Took us a minute to get on here, but now we on here.
Yes.
Right.
It's a blessing. And as I do every Tuesday, I tell my guests, my show runs like a mother. We're going to get all the business out up front, and then we're going to have a party on the back end. And so what I call the party is I ask you a few questions, just nothing personal, nothing harmful, but just a few fun questions at the end of the interview.
Man, you do what you do, man. I'm coming straight off my heart. So whatever you ask me, I would never get offended.
All righty. So for the people, introduce yourself and tell them who you are, what you're about, and where you're from.
Man, how you doing? My name is Sterling, like in silver, because I like to shine. I was on this show, Hell's Kitchen, and it blew me up. I'm a celebrity chef. I'm from JC Napier. My motto is impact over income.
Impact over income. That is a beautiful motto because I tell people all the time, in this world, in this society, they measure a man's worth by what he can produce, and that is so wrong.
Yes.
That is so wrong. So here's a bit of an insight. I bet you don't remember me.
Charge it to my head, not my heart.
That's okay. That's fine. I was the guy that was selling hot dogs on Trinity Lane.
Trinity Lane.
A few years back, you were with the guy. Y'all were renting a truck and y'all were selling food on the corner of Trinity Lane and Dixon Road.
Yeah, the old White Castles.
The old White Castles building, right?
Use the hot dog. That means using by the car outside.
Yep.
Man, how you doing though?
I'm doing fine. I'm doing fine. Like I said, this is something that God put on my heart, man, to have conversations with ordinary men that are doing extraordinary things in their right. So you are a Nashville native, so am I a Nashville native. And what we're doing is we're trying to start a conglomerate of positive male role models here in Nashville so that we can save our youth.
I'm down with that. I'm
Right?
definitely.
You know, a few weeks ago, I saw you on the news there walking through your community.
Yes, I'm always like, main reason that I don't go work nowhere because our kids out south don't have a real male to show them life. If they when they come out their door, they don't see nothing positive. So I know I'm there to change that.
Right, and that's respect. That's with any right. That's respect. Because I tell men all the time, if you're in the presence of a young boy, then you are a father. You're a father
Yeah,
in that moment if you're in the presence of a young boy.
correct.
So
Man,
we have. Go ahead.
now like me, like I got a culinary school out there, totally free, and majority of my students is raised by single moms.
Okay.
And
And what
so,
what impact is that having on the community?
oh man, it's lovely because these kids look up. My head chef is 15. His name is Xavier. My sous chef is Mariana. She's 13. They see another avenue to success. And it's not by rapping. It's not about being an athlete. It's just simply cooking.
Uh huh.
And it's there to change, man. It's a food desert out there. And so, by the grace of God, God gave me a credit. I mean, make sure the kids have food. So when they come in, they get to eat and they take food home to feed their families. And, you know, on a full stomach, you don't do violence.
You ready to go sit down somewhere and watch some TV or do some homework or something. You ready to do something that's going to relax you and going to, get you through to the next day.
Yes, correct. And also, I'm hanging up. So I'm going to announce this on your podcast. I'm giving up going to cook for celebrities to take a job at McGavick to teach culinary.
That is wonderful. That is wonderful. That is wonderful. So you're going to do you're going to do that culinary program at McGavick.
Yes, I'm going to that's what saved me was that class. And so that's my alumni. So I'm going to give back. Everybody always tell these kids how to be successful. What better way to show them what it looks like?
Very much so true. Very true. So here's a question. Between when you were growing up on those same streets that you're trying to save those children on to where it is now, what is the biggest difference in the community?
It's no more older men to sit down and tell the young men, boy, sit down. It's not no older people to check these young kids anymore. They scared of them. And you gotta realize majority of these young ladies, when you try to help them, the biggest thing I hear, I don't need your help. And you know, coming up back then, it took a village. I want to bring back the village.
Amen. That's why I said we're trying to get a conglomerate of men to get together here in Nashville so that we can, that's the idea and that's the goal of what we're trying to do here at the Kickback is we're trying to create a village. We're trying to create a village of strong and positive men to show these young boys that what you're going through right now is not your forever because a lot of them feel like what they're going through right now is their forever. And it could change tomorrow. It could change next week. It could change next month. But all they can see is what they're going through right now.
Yes, and I can't. People are always blaming these kids, but they don't realize they are what they see, and a lot of people don't understand that. And
Oh, I've tried to. You're right. I've tried to explain that theory. Also, I've told in a couple of my shows I talked about it where I said the first the first example of an adult that a child has in their life is their parents. So if a little
Yeah.
boy sees a man disrespecting women, then he's going to grow up and think that that's the way a man is supposed to treat a woman. And if if a little girl grows up and sees her mama disrespect herself and have men running in and out of the house and not taking care of her business, then that's what she's going to think a woman is supposed to be.
Also, they in the inner city, they don't believe in speaking positive to our kids. They just like notice all the rough areas. It's no nice grocery stores. It's a
Yeah,
bunch
I
of
noticed that. I was, what neighborhood was I in? And I was like, wow, y'all got to go this far to go. Oh, I was on Clarksville Highway at
yeah,
Dodge
yeah. Well, they got a store closer than us. Like look at JC University Court. It's the biggest housing project in Nashville. It's over 811 units there.
Yeah,
Where's the
that's
nearest
true.
grocery store?
On 8th Avenue, I think is the Kroger's, right?
It's a Kroger's, and then on the other part of South, Franklin Road. Now,
Yeah,
what if somebody there in a wheelchair
very
who
true.
don't have a car?
Very true. Very true. So what do
Like
they do?
I'll be going. Go ahead.
I said, you were about to explain, you were about to answer the question that I was about to ask. What are people in those particular situations doing for groceries?
Well, I got to give my props to second harvest foods, but also they don't be able to reach some of the senior citizens who's in a wheelchair. So my goal is to try to get a bunch of these baskets, the old school baskets where they can push it. Because when they give the food away, it's heavy for some of these ladies. And it's not no real men out there to tote the groceries to the project.
Yeah, that is a conundrum right there because you already can't get to the grocery store. Then these people bring the food to you, and then you can't manage to get it into your apartment.
Correct. I want to get a bunch of men together. Man, I know every senior citizen wherever they live at in South Nashville.
All right, so
Everybody always talk about helping them, but man, right now, I had learned a lot of people use my name instead of having my back.
right, right. That is a lot of people do that because they want the credit, but they don't want to put in the work.
Correct. So that's why I trip out. They come out there, name an hour, and they take a picture, and I see their social media page. We out here serving, we out here doing this, and you ain't done nothing.
Go ahead.
And then that irks me. Like, it really irks me. That's why you don't see me on pictures with no organizations no more. Until you build a relationship with my people, don't come and ask me to help you do anything.
Respect, and I understand that totally. And we have become a society of people that's what we do now. Everything is a social media post. Everything is a post nowadays. Everything. I got to get some likes. I got to get some followers. I got to get some likes. You know what? God didn't have likes and followers. I mean, in that sense, he didn't have likes and followers. He had true believers that he was the person that did the things for you. And as I said before, if it wasn't for God, I wouldn't be here right now. We wouldn't be here having this conversation because God put it on our hearts to be the men that we are and to have the passion for people as we do. You have a
Well,
passion for your community.
I got not just my community all over the United States, but I know I'm rare, like you're rare. And so I'm happy for that. I really applaud that because you know why? We're the last of a dead breed. And if everybody if everybody would like us, we wouldn't be different. That's
Very
what
true.
people go. And I love that. Like we're chosen. We're not selected. We're chosen. A lot of people.
Man,
Go ahead.
you stepping all on my toes, man, because my pastor said the same thing to me. He said a lot of people want to be in the position that you're in. You're chosen. You are
Yeah.
chosen. And sometimes being in a chosen position feels lonely because people don't understand where your heart and your mind is.
Number one is a lonely number, sir.
Very true. Very true.
And number one is an odd number, sir. So guess what? It makes you odd. Makes you different. Makes you stand out. You can't take everybody, you know what I'm saying, with you where you want to go. It's impossible.
Oh, you're right.
But you
You're right.
can't. But you gotta realize, instead of thinking of as lonely, man, you at that table. God put you at this table that you get to eat by yourself and watch. Let your enemies watch you eat what God has blessed you to have.
Man, you
That's a
just don't.
fact.
You're right. It is a blessing, and God's been telling me these things, the same things that you're saying, but in a different format. I go home some days and I talk to my wife and I say, "Why me, babe? Why did He choose me
No, no,
to
no,
be
no,
in this
no.
position?"
It's why not you.
That's what she says. That's what she says.
Yeah. I ain't never talked to her. It's obvious. It's confirmation.
Right, right, right. It's affirmation all the way around. Because, we all have done things in our life. We've all done some things in our lives, and we've all done some things that was not godly. We've all done some things that we felt like we shouldn't have been doing, or whatever it may have been. And God brought me so far through the things I've been through. See, you're South Nashville. I'm an East Nashville.
Okay. Where back in the day where we got along.
Right, right. Because, see, I grew up in Sam Levy. I grew up on Lishi Avenue. I was doing
Yeah, but see
Lakewood.
you. Okay, but I'm together. But how old are you? I'm 52.
I am 45.
So you still got a lot of catching up to do. You don't know what the skating is like. You know what I'm saying? You don't know what it's like when we go out there to sell a court to play ball. Then you got to go against the bottom boys to get home.
No, I don't know, because back when I was coming up, people don't understand. When I was growing up, East Nashville was separated into three neighborhoods. You had
Correct.
Court, the Bottom,
Correct.
and South 8.
Oh, you forgot about L.A.
Yeah, yeah,
Living
yeah,
apartments.
yeah. Oh, and then you got Lane Garden.
Yes. But see, y'all had your own sets. Like in JC, like even though UC is right across the street, you had just different cliques. Like when y'all went out to the clubs, oh man, they come them dudes from Sam Lee. Oh man, they come them guys from Cellar Court. Them guys from Joe Johnson.
Yep, 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 yep. That's the way it was. That was life back then, but it was a little more cohesive than it is right now.
Correct.
It was a little more cohesive. So here's the thing. Let's talk more about what Mr. 100 has going on in the neighborhood. Now, you said your sous chef, you have a chef, a head chef and a sous chef. Where
Yeah.
is your kitchen located?
155 Lafayette used to be the liquor store. Now it's the Tennessee Justice Center. It's a place where you used to cross the street to kill yourself, then you cross the street to save your life. In this building, you get help with EBT, you get health insurance, then you go downstairs to the NKT, my family, where you can get counseling, church services. We just a community inside the building. We there to show you that we are an impact and we're gonna love on you. And what made me wait.
I didn't mean to interrupt you. Go ahead.
So what made me love this building, that this woman Michelle Johnson, they invested in this building. Like a lot of, no offense, a lot of white people say they want to help our kind, but how many actually move out there?
Right.
So they moved in this building, and it's just been a life changing pattern, and I'm loving it. You can tell God is changing. It ain't gonna happen overnight, but it's a work. It's taking one step at a time.
How long have you all been in business at this particular location?
2 years.
2 years. So in 2 years, what would you say your success rate is?
Well, I started off in a small church doing this cooking the right way with two eyes. On my 50th birthday, the CEO, Michelle Johnson, said, I'm going to give you a kitchen to work out of. Totally free. And then I meet Jonathan, who was my pastor, who got me closer to God. Because, you got a lot of, I didn't believe in churches, man, because Everybody was phony to me. To me, they was a business. They weren't church.
Yes, sir.
But you see, so when you see these people want to go into projects and want to help, oh, that's you put me on the front line.
Yes, sir.
You
So
know,
shout out your church. What is your church home name?
Napier Kitchen Table, 155 Lafayette. Everything we do in this building, man, we feed every Sunday. The community totally free. You go to churches there, everybody want to charge for a plate. That ain't how I grew up.
Right, right, right. So
We
every
don't force you. Go ahead. We don't force you to come and go to church. We feed you first. Then if you want to stay for church service, you're welcome to.
okay. I mean, that is amazing because you don't get a lot of people that, like you said, church has become a business. It really has. Church is in your heart. Church is inside of
Correct.
you.
Correct.
We're having church right now because the presence of God is here. And I always want him whenever I'm having a conversation with any gentleman, I want to acknowledge God. As you said in your bio, I want to scream from the mountaintops in the valley the goodness of God.
God. You feel me? Like, man, who would ever think this man from JC Napier would go to Hell's Kitchen and get to one of the meanest man on TV to fall in love with him? And then I
Hey,
turned down a job.
hey, that is self, man. And I've always been. I know you proud of yourself, but I've always been proud of you. I spent 18 years myself in kitchens. I spent 18 years in kitchens all over Nashville, so I understand your plight when you say you want your diners to have a great dining experience.
Yes. So now I'm bringing to people houses and
Hey,
I cook for them in their house and give them an experience like they never had. My difference is you go to the restaurants, they cook it for a paycheck. Man, I'm gonna cook for this passion, and every memory gotta have a moment, and you gonna remember the moment you met me. Once you take that first bite, I ain't gonna never ask you how was the food. I'm gonna look at your eyes roll, cause God gave me this gift to blow your mind.
listen, I've never had any of your food. But since the first time I ever met you, man, it was an experience, and you have this aura that just attracts people, man. And I never forgot the first time I ever met you, and I was like, Sterling Wright. And then somebody was like, yeah, he was the dude that was on Hell's Kitchen. I was like, okay, he was on Hell's Kitchen, but he a cool dude. I love his vibe. I love who he is. I love his level of intensity when it comes to what he's passionate about.
Man, I thank you. I really do mean it. Thank you. Like some people, man, you dumb for taking, turning down a job from Gordon Ramsay. No, that's how you gonna tell me about my decision? That ain't what God wanted me to do. I'm working for my purpose.
Paid a whole lot more when you work for your purpose.
Man, the reward is outstanding from God. You can't even explain it. Like I
So,
laugh, like, man, I trip off, man. One of my things I did, like, I woke up one morning and say, man, I ain't finna work for nobody else. And I can't tell my wife this, I'm finna quit. And to
so
give me confirmation, I go cook on Tony Robbins' yacht. We was on Tony Robbins' yacht. Now here, clear as day, are you gonna continue to chase money or are you gonna do what I asked you to do?
hey man, won't he do it?
Man, he will, man. And next thing I know, I get a call. I'm like, what? Am I getting Oprah calling my name?
Right.
God, never forget it. Juneteenth. And I was busy today, and plus it was Father's Day. Man, I ain't finna work this Sunday, man. I can't do it. I'm already booked. Now, how many people tell Oprah no?
Now, most people won't tell her no because they feel like that's their ticket to ultimate success.
I told her no. And I wasn't thinking when I told her no. I cooked on June 20th, which was on a Monday. In June of 2022, I never forget it. That was my parents' anniversary in heaven. I'm like, man, I'm finna show out.
You gave it your all. So both of your parents are deceased?
Yes, sir. My mama died over 10 years ago. It feel like yesterday. My dad died in my arms, but I used to be down about it, but you know, everybody here temporary. What you gonna do with your legacy?
Exactly. Everything has an expiration.
Yes. What you gonna do with that dash? What are you doing with it?
A lot of people ain't doing nothing with it, man. This is, people always talk about money. When you talk about legacy, people always talk about money. I'm gonna leave money as my I'm gonna leave my family this. But 9 times out of 10, people are leaving grief and bills.
Well, if you notice, one thing I haven't talked about is money.
No, we're not talking about money at all because we're here to talk about what you're doing in the community. What you did on Hell's Kitchen is wonderful, my brother, and I'm not taking anything from it. And you got to know one of the greatest men in the world right now in the cooking industry that every person that's ever stood over a hot stove in a restaurant would love to meet. But
Yes,
that's not what we're here about. We're here about saving souls, saving our streets, saving our
yes,
city. Because I tell
yes,
people all the time, if I can save one young man, one, but the object is to save many. But if I save one, then that means I have been pleased. I have been pleasing in the eyes of the Lord.
facts. Well, I'm gonna tell you something so I like to show facts. Can you Google something while we talk?
Yes, I can.
So Google WKRN bone marrow.
ARN.
Bone marrow.
All righty.
Hit enter. Talking about saving the community. Every community need a hero.
Nashville chef donates bone marrow to 18-year-old in need at Germantown. Nashville Sterling Wright is at Germantown University in Washington, D.C. on Monday to donate bone marrow. That's what popped up.
That's it. Now, you talking about somebody who done saved a life. So if I can save somebody's life, come on, let me help you try to save your own.
Yes, sir. That's wonderful. That is wonderful. You are, like I said at the beginning, you're an ordinary man doing extraordinary things. You're doing
And I thank you for
extraordinary
that.
things.
But I can't take credit. God did this. God gave me this heart. God
Yes,
created me.
yes.
And I can't never stop giving him the glory.
Amen. Amen. Hey, listen, like I said, when I read your bio and it says, I want to scream from the mountaintops in the valley, that is something I wake up with every day. Every
What?
day. Every day I wake up and I want to tell somebody about the goodness and the glory of God and what he's done in my life. Every day. The passion that I have inside of me every day for the Lord. Some people can't understand it, and some people act like it's too much. But it's not too much when he saved me, when he gave
You
me an
know,
opportunity.
let me let you know something. Jesus couldn't satisfy everybody, but they talked about it.
Very true.
So my mind thing, did we lose Dave? Because he ain't said nothing.
Yeah, Dave he had to leave. He had some other stuff he had to take care of.
Okay. But I'm one of them guys, if I feel like you ain't talking about me, I must not be doing nothing.
Right. God
Yeah.
came to me. He came to me yesterday and he says, "That son." Like you said, you hear him when you're in those quiet moments. You hear the voice of the Lord. When there's no distractions, you hear the voice of the Lord. And God came to me. And he says, "Somebody close to you is jealous." And I'm like, somebody close to me is jealous. I'm trying to help out the community. I'm trying to do something right. Why would somebody be jealous of what I got going on? I ain't got no more than the next man.
Well, you don't understand. They hate your platform because it's not them. They not going to come and tell you, I'm proud of you. I wish it was me. See, thing about you that I feel in my spirits, you've been around people that knows what you got, but scared to tell you.
Yes, I have. I have been. You're right. I've been around people that have chased my coattail, and I had to learn a few years ago that what was for me is for me, because I was the type of person I tried to bring everybody along with me. But then God spanked me and told me, what I give you is for you. You can't bring them, him, her, or whoever with you, because this journey is only for you. It's not for them. And I had to stop bringing people along.
Guess who? Now you're talking to somebody that understand what you're talking about. Because I was that guy too. I'm worried about making everybody else happy, and I'm not even happy myself.
Man, we must be twins or something.
Man, for real. You wonder why? What am I doing wrong? But then I find out, man, they don't talk about losers. They talk about the people who's making a difference.
Man, I tell you what, you sure know what to say, because here's the thing. At this platform, man, I've heard from people in different walks of life. I've interviewed pastors. I've interviewed businessmen. I've interviewed people that have their own thing going on, and everybody says that this is something different. This is something unique, because like I tell people all the time, you can go on the internet, you can go down the street. You got 3 different sisterhood things where women can go and have conversations and meet up with their girls. But you don't have a place where us brothers can get together and have real conversations about life. Whatever's going on with your family, what's going on in your love life, what's going on with your job, if somebody's getting on your nerves. I've had multiple type of people on my platform that will tell me, I usually don't talk like this when I'm around other people, but you've made me feel so comfortable in your discussions that I'm willing to open up and have conversations, because we as men, we're looking for a place that we can lay our head down and just talk to men and have real conversations.
Can I tell you what I see through how you just passionate about what you just said? You need to take advantage of this platform. You need to do a retreat. The thing is, men is so confused. Like, if you cry, you soft. If you don't cry, why you don't talk to me? We was confused coming up. Real men don't cry. Excuse my language, being honest. Bullshit. If you don't cry, you holding in stress.
Yes,
Real
sir.
men cry. But who do we got to vent to? Thing about it, I can't talk to other people, because guess what? Just like you, they probably think you're bragging.
Right.
I'm not bragging. I'm telling you what God has done for me, and I want to do for you. What he done for me, he can do for you. He's using me as an example. But instead of them looking at that, they thinking that you're bragging. So you shut up.
Right.
That's where you wrong at. Man, I'm going to keep bragging on my God.
So Sunday, we were invited to a Super Bowl party at the Martha O'Brien Center, because I did an interview with the chaplain at Martha O'Brien Community Center. His name is Chaplain Miller. Really nice gentleman. If you hadn't met him, he's a really good guy. So I brought him on my platform, as I have you on the platform. So me and my wife, we went to the Super Bowl party on Sunday. He catches me right before me and my wife leaves and says, "Hey, come here. I need you to talk to somebody." And this is what he did. He goes and he gets the VP of Martha O'Brien Center, and he stands me in front of her and he says, "Tell her about your platform and tell her what you're trying to do with the community." And he put me on the spot. But just having a conversation with him on this platform put me in a position that now what you're saying, I'm trying to keep it in the background, Sterling, but something is in the pipeline for a bigger thing for men to come together. Me and Chaplain Miller
and he chose you to do it. You're not looking at the signs. Like you said, you're chosen. You can't even run from it.
Bro, you sound like my wife, man. She said, "Baby, you're chosen. You don't understand.
And then think about it. Okay, you was at the Super Bowl. Look at the signs. Who won? The Eagles.
The Eagles.
Okay. Who can fly with an eagle? Doubt it.
I know no one can fly with an eagle.
You don't consider yourself an eagle that can soar?
I'm still trying to get myself. I mean, I like to be honest and transparent. I'm still trying to get myself to understand the vitality and the strength of God and where He's walking me into. Because
You
like
wrong
you
for
said,
doing it. You don't need to try to do nothing. It's gonna come to you in due time. You ain't figuring this out. This is God's plan, not yours.
oh, I figured that out. I figured out it was God's plan. I figured that out a long time ago. And
Yeah,
I'm
it's
just
not about
rolling with
you.
the punches. Oh no,
Same here.
no,
Man,
no.
you just don't know what you got is on you. That time when you wake up 2 and 3 in the morning, that's when God is talking to you. 3 to 5 is when you write it down because that's when the world is asleep. You got it, my man. You got
Man,
the plan.
man, listen. I thank you for the praise. I like you talked about. I don't want anyone to feel like, because you know how people are, Sterling. You just said it. When you go out and you preach to people and you tell them what you're doing, what's the first thing they ain't gonna say it to you, but what's the first? Oh, he bragging about what he got going on. He think he better than me because he got this going on over here.
Exactly.
So
Mhm.
I try to stay humble as possible, and I try to make sure that I'm not stepping on anyone's toes.
Step on their toes with some steel toes.
I got some in my closet.
Okay, you learn to step on people's toes because they're gonna try to step on yours, but you ain't doing it in to tit for tat. You're doing it godly.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes,
And
sir.
they'll never like, man, they tell me sometimes I'm too humble. Well, I don't understand what too humble mean. All I know, I got a heart and God is in charge. And as long as I'm pleasing Him, I don't care about nobody else.
I agree with you there. I totally agree with you there. I really don't care what nobody else say, to be honest with you. And all the things that you're saying, I have a beautiful, beautiful, beautiful partner at home that speaks words of affirmation into me. And everything you're saying, she says to me, because, you know, if you think about the Bible, in the Bible, it says a woman blesses, if you have a wife, a real definition of a wife, she covers the house. And what you
Yeah.
just said, nobody knows this, but like again, I say I'm very honest because this is my platform. So my wife last week did a fast for 3 days. She did a fast for 3 days last week. And at between 2 and 3 o'clock in the morning, the Lord woke her up. And at 4 or 5 o'clock in the morning, when I woke up to get ready to go to work, she had a pad full of stuff that God had told to her that morning. Man, you was on. Woo! Boy, you
So
are.
now you know you're talking to somebody that believe in God just as much as you do. And it's
Yes,
very
sir.
rare that a lot of people like they could give me scriptures all they want, but are they really walking in them footsteps? I don't know the Bible. I'm not trying to know it. I'm trying to get everything through God. Like, man, I just go by what He tell me,
Man,
and
you
I
got
know
tears.
when.
You got tears falling out my eyes over here. Because, like I said, we must be some twins. I ain't going to sit here and say I don't know the Bible. I know bits of the Bible, and I never throw the Bible down someone's throat. But God is always in whatever I do. Whatever I do, God is in it. And you're right. People love to throw scriptures at you and throw the word at you. They want to do this. No, I want to, like you said, I want to do what God is instructing me to do. And He's instructed me to do this. This right here. This.
Yeah, and I'm love what you're doing. Like nobody's not doing it now. To me, it's time to take it to a bigger because it's men out there that need to hear you. Look where you come from. Man, no offense to other podcasts or none of that. We come from the trenches.
Yes, sir.
So why am I gonna listen to somebody that don't know what it's like to hear gunshots in the middle of the night?
Man, listen here. My parents was in a shootout, and I was in the back seat of the car while my parents were in a shootout. When I was about 5 or 6 years old. That's where I come from. My mother used to be a drug dealer. She paid her way through college selling pills out North Nashville in Batavia Alley.
Man, so look at that gift. So you could go talk to the majority of not only men, but young teenagers who trying to go that route of hustling. You know,
Yes,
they send these people to go talk to these kids, and they ain't got no experience with these kids.
Man, I lost my brother 3 years ago, a drug deal gone bad.
Mm.
3 years ago, I lost my little brother over there off of Spence Lane and Lebanon Road. He was meeting up with somebody. They robbed him and killed him and left him for dead.
Mm, mm, mm.
You
So
understand what I'm saying? I've been there. I
yeah,
know exactly what you're talking
so that negative that happened, when it's God, it's gonna end in positive. Look how many of these young men done lost people that people can't even relate to. You can relate to them.
about. Oh yeah, most definitely.
A lot of people can't. They wonder how I can talk to the kids in different areas. They know I'm real. Like they know you real. You know why they want you at Month O'Brien? Because you authentic. They
Mm.
got people go they they got people going to college trying to get this wisdom and knowledge what God gave to you for free.
I didn't even think about it like that, Sterling.
Man, come on now. You favored. In the blink of an eye, by you being obedient, you get to meet the vice president.
Yeah,
You done.
I don't know, man. I don't know. It's all. I tell you what, this whole journey has been God, man. I've been doing this since July last year. I've been doing this since July, and so let me give you a little backstory of what happened to me. So last year on January the 22nd of last year, I flipped a truck and blew out my shoulder. Okay, it
Mm,
was crazy. I'm gonna just listen for a moment. I'm gonna give you this story. So January the 22nd is my anniversary. It's my anniversary. So from January of last year to October of this year, I didn't have a job. But when I met my wife, I was working, I was cooking in a kitchen 8 hours a day. Then I was driving Uber for another 4 or 5 hours and then selling hot dogs on Saturday. So when I met her, I was working 2 to 3 jobs, and all I knew how to do was work. And that's all I did. And my wife kept saying, babe, you just need to slow down. Just sit down. Just slow down. But in my trauma and in the things that I had been through in my past, that's all I knew how to do was to go to work. So I'm 45 right now. When I was 40 years old, God came to me and he said, listen, he said, it's time. And I said, time for what, God? He just kept, in them quiet moments, he just kept saying, it's time. And I'm like, time for what? And then one day in one of those quiet moments, he said, it's time to surrender. Time to surrender. And I'm like, time to surrender? And then it just happened. I woke up one morning and I said, okay, Lord, I surrender. That was 5 years ago, Sterling. And my life has changed. And last year I had that accident. I sat in that house from January to October, never missed a bill, never went hungry. Nothing was never turned off. My family still strived. He blessed me in October to get a job. I'm like, God is so good. And I never knew the power and the glory of what God had for me until he set me down. When he set me down is when I started this. He set me down and told me, it's my time. You got to sit down now. You got to depend on me.
yeah, yeah. I truly understand everything you just said. Thing is, man, a lot of people don't understand that, man. And it ain't your job to explain it. It's for you.
But like you said, a lot of people won't understand the glory of what he can do because they don't. So many people out here don't want to believe in God or don't think that God is the person he really is.
Man, them the ones I go after. I don't go after these so-called churchgoers. First time, sign of trouble. Lord, why me? Oh, God, why me? And
Man,
you faking your faith. When I get any type of devil things thrown my way, I shout. Oh, man, it's about to be a reward. Thank you. What else you
yeah,
want to help take out, devil? What you want to steal? Because I'm going to help you tote it out because I'm going to get it 7 times better.
yes, yes, yes. I celebrate every time. I celebrate. And a lot of people don't celebrate. So, we talked about that. And I know I don't throw around, but this is what, it came to me one day, and. this is just we talked about not throwing around verses, but this is what it sounds like you just said to me. In Luke 15, they talk about the lost sheep and how the shepherds celebrated finding that lost sheep and not worried about the rest of them. A lot of people don't worry about the lost ones. They worry about the people that's already there. But the object is for us is to get the lost ones and bring them home.
That's it.
You know,
Like, notice it's the ones that the non-believers, them the ones that I love. People in church, I don't do that, man. Like, what used to throw me off, I never knew, like, all this offering. Where it showed to say, it says give 10%. It didn't say give 10% to the church.
hey,
It said just
listen,
give 10%.
I don't talk about it very often, but what you're saying is the way I feel about church. And again, I'll say this, we must be twins because there's not a lot of people that I meet that understand my mindset. Why do I have to give you this money? Churches become so much of a business that I don't like. I tell my wife I'm a believer. Organized religion, going to church and all that, I really don't believe in that. I go to church for my wife because of my wife. But I'm a believer and I got God in my heart and soul. But church has become so much of a business that it just turned me off. I don't want to be there. And then the people in the church want to judge everybody and act like they better than the rest of the people.
And I call them one day celebrating people. Cause all you come in is on Sundays. And then
Right.
you're not even focused. You're not even focused when you're there on the word. You're so busy being messy. So
Right.
I just don't want to go around it. Like,
See, and I find in churches they make the pastor a messiah.
well, that's on them. I'm not like everybody's got their belief, but don't get mad at me because I don't step foot in your church.
I respect. I totally respect.
Yeah. Don't get mad at me when I'm like, I don't want to take a picture. Because if you do take a picture, don't post me on social media saying that
Right.
we did this together, which is a lie because I'm going to call you out. If you post me and say we was outside feeding, I'm going to come on your social media and say you was out there taking pictures. You didn't do nothing.
He said you were out there taking pictures. So this was just a photo op for them.
Yeah. This is a photo op for me because I get tired of people coming out to neighborhoods talking about like they got the answer for what the neighborhood need. If y'all had the answer, it wouldn't be no struggle.
Right.
All
Right.
all you gotta do is build a relationship.
But that's too much like right. That takes too much effort. I want all the glory, but I don't want to put in any other work.
Yeah, that's why I don't mess with them. No, you give me like, no, what are you doing for our kids and families that's struggling? No, man. No, no.
Well, I just want to take it. You famous. I want to take a picture with you, and I want to show people that I was out here with Sterling Wright.
Yeah, I get that a lot. And then when I say no, and when they say no, oh, you think you all that? You say what you want, but you ain't out here to do the cause I'm doing. You're not
Right.
doing like when people think about it out south that I love. Shout out to JC Napier University Court. They know if they don't see you with me that you ain't actually what they call legit.
I get it. I get it. It is like you said. It's so rare and so far in between. And man, you made your announcement on the show, and you made me give a tidbit of what I got going on the show tonight. Man, God is so good, and he's working in places and people don't even know it because just like you and me, we not out here I'm not on social media telling anybody what I just told you tonight. The only people know about that is me, you, and my wife. And now whoever listens to this show will know about that there's something in the works that's about to happen. But I'm not doing it for the glory of man. I'm not doing it to get likes. I'm not doing it to get followers. I'm doing it to save souls, brother. That's the only thing. That's the only thing that I want to do is I want to show young men of all types, the glory of God and what He's done for me and what He can do for them.
Correct.
That's it.
And I'm with you. And I'm with you for that because it's not enough of us.
No, it isn't. It isn't enough of us out here that really want to do something in a major way. There's not enough people out here that really care, and we've become a society of followers and just sheeps, and everybody wants to follow. It's a trend. Everybody wants to be on this trend. Everybody wants to be on that trend. I hate trends. I hate
Well,
following stuff.
I hate to tell you this, but I don't do that. I stay in my lane. If you come in my lane, you better have your blink on.
He said you better have your blink on.
Man, like I know where God is working in me and through me. And if you ain't a part of it, I I know how to smile like, yeah, 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 but I promise you when you talk, I'm not hearing nothing.
I hate you, brother. I hate you. This world that we live in is so wretched and wicked that they don't understand people like us. They don't understand, and that's sometimes. Sometimes I just kind of get scared, and I don't know what to do.
Well, that's
But
a good thing. When you get scared, it ain't nothing wrong with that. You want to be scared. You want to have the bubble guts. That means you ain't cocky.
this thing I got going on right here scares me so much, Sterling, because my wife said she had a dream that this was going to take us to places that we've never been.
I'm gonna tell you something. It ain't nothing wrong with traveling, my brother.
But that's what I'm saying. You have called out so much. I'm telling you, God speaks to me, but he speaks more to the woman that he gave me. He speaks
Yeah,
more to her, and she'll come to me and she say, "Baby, God told me that something's gonna happen to you, and not bad. Something's gonna happen." What you say? I'm telling you, bro. She says, "Baby, God says there's a men's conference gonna come out of what you're doing."
and
And
I
like you
told you
just
that.
said, right? But that's what I'm saying. You've never even talked to my wife. You've never even met her, but you said, "Man, you need to do a conference." God has already given me the confirmation that there's a conference coming.
Yes, yes. So
He's already
if it don't happen, if it don't happen, it's because you don't make it happen, sir.
very true. Very true. Very true. But he's already given me the confirmation. And for me to sit here and talk to you with these tears rolling out my eyes that you're calling out what God has ordained for me, and we hadn't had a conversation, and for you to be spot on is even more affirmation of what I'm doing is for the good of man and for the good of God, for the good of man.
Correct.
It's
You found
sometimes I
somebody.
think
You
small
found
minded.
somebody just like you. You found somebody just like you, and it's mind boggling. It
Yeah,
makes me feel good. Just like you done had plenty of guests, but man, to have a connection, that's a big difference, man.
it is
That
a very big difference.
that blew my mind, bro. That just blew my mind.
It's a big difference, man. Just to have like you said, to have somebody to understand and know what God has in store for you. And it's blessings that now you're going to take your talents back to the inner city with working through the school system. They've taken so many programs out of the schools to help these kids. They've taken them out.
I know, but now they're coming back, and I'm gonna be a part of it. I mean, it's just like I can't explain. I feel, but man, I've seen the results of what's about to happen, and I can't do nothing but thank God, my bro. I was like, you done seen what you if you stay the course, you done. I'm for sure you done seen the reward.
Yes, yes. Sunday, what I say? I was put in front of the VP of Martho Brand Center. That is
Mm.
I didn't ask for
And
that, but that's a
correct.
reward of God.
Thank you, because you being obedient and you've been doing what He asked you to do. That's what I love about God. He don't even, man, the stuff that He rewards you with, you can't even. People can't even understand it. People
No.
won't understand it, and you can't explain it.
But being of this earth, people are so evil and mischievous when like you said, when you announce or you tell people things of that nature, the first thing they want to do is they want to go into a hateful spirit. Oh, how they introduce him to that. You understand what I'm saying?
Correct.
Yeah.
Hello?
So yes, sir, I can hear you. You must have just got in the car.
Yeah. I'm listening.
Yeah.
I think I'm dinner.
What's dinner for tonight?
Man, I've been to Olive Garden, man. Like, one thing about a chef, man, I love cooking for everybody, but I hate cooking for myself.
Exactly. My wife can't understand that. Well, she's finally starting to understand that. I love to cook for a big group of people because my last job, I worked at a retirement facility cooking for 130 residents, 2 meals a day, 5 days a week is what I did. So I was cool with that, making fresh bread and salads. Fresh soups and all of these things from scratch. I was cool with doing that, but then when I come home, I don't want to cook. But then my wife was like, I married a chef. Why can't you cook all the time?
Man, they don't understand, but I cook. Like, I do romantic dinners a lot. And when I start doing it, when I do it for my wife, she's tired of it. And then when I don't consistently do it, oh, you don't cook romantic for me no more. Which one gonna be, baby? I want to do whatever you want.
Right. But see, I instill the rule in my house. I say, if there's something particular you want to eat, go to the grocery store and pick it up, and I will cook it once I get home. So once I get to the house, if whatever you cook, the ingredients are there, I'm going to cook it. I'm going to cook it.
See, that's what makes us different. They'll tell me I'm hungry. It's something in there knowing you can come up with something. And they just let me go in there, and that's what I love to do. That's what keep me sharp in the kitchen. I don't want to know what I got in the refrigerator. I just want to go in there and create something.
Right. I get it. I understand. There's times when you do that, and I've done it. Like my wife one day, she was like, "Just go in there and put something together." Ooh, I love it. Can we have this all the time?
Yeah.
We ain't got them same ingredients all the time. We don't have them same ingredients all the time. That was from the ingredients we had in the cabinets and in the refrigerator at that moment.
And them are the best meals, man.
On the fly, on the spot, yes. But tonight, I think my wife wants to go to Ruby Tuesdays. It's Tuesday. She loves a good old salad.
Yeah, man. But I'm funny. Like I'm gonna go out to eat, but like do this Olive Garden. But man, I hate going to restaurants, man. And they don't. I can't go on no Friday or Saturday. I will refuse to go out to eat on a Friday or Saturday.
Why is that?
Because there's no love in the food, man. They there to rush the food out.
Yeah, very true. It's just turn and burn, turn and burn, turn and burn.
Turn and burn. There's no love in it. So I don't go in there. If I see a wait, I definitely won't eat. Because that's when I think about how people get sick when they cook the food. It's just a lot of things that run through my mind.
Yeah, foodborne illness.
Yes.
Yeah, foodborne illness. Oh, I've took a service aid class or two.
Yeah, man. Like I'm for real, man. I really appreciate you and Dave reaching out to me, man. I know he thought I wasn't gonna do it because I stay so busy, and I suck on communication.
Oh,
I stay busy.
That's fine. But we're about at the end, anyways. Let me say this, brother. I appreciate everything you're doing in the community. I love who you are, and I love what God has made you to be. And I thank you because the city of Nashville, we need some superheroes around here. God is our superhero, but we need some earthly superheroes to show these young men that there are other avenues of doing things around here.
I promise you, man. When next time you're gonna see me, like whoever's listening to this podcast, I'm the first one to go inside the juvenile and start a culinary class. Thanks to Pathway, Sheila Calloway, Yolanda Hockett. I love y'all because all our young men need is guidance, and they don't have it.
That's it. Then we're about to go, but I'm going to ask you a few questions, and then we're going to get out of here. You riding
Yes,
in your
sir.
car. You riding in your car right now. If I was to get in your car, what would you be listening to?
Old school R&B. When they talk
Old
about
school.
love, man, it's like I'm old school, man. You don't see no love songs no more. You don't hear no man crying out to his woman no more. You don't even see group. When the last time you heard an R&B group?
I think it was TGT, Tyrese, Tank, and Genuine.
Yeah, see, that's my version of LSG.
LSG. I remember LSG. So, what is Sterling Wright's guilty pleasure?
Guilty? Man, I'm guilty of having a good stiff drink and pleasure, man. My wife get in there and do her thing.
All right.
That's my guilty pleasure, man. Every man got that, man. It's like, man, I just love my wife can offer, man. You know, of course, a lot of people probably being my wife ill, but man, it ain't nothing like my own, man. That's mine, man. That's what God created for me to love while I'm on this earth.
Yes. So, what would be the perfect vacation for Sterling Wright?
Me and my wife just did a tree house outside overlooking a lake in a tree house with everything unplugged.
Wow, everything unplugged. I love it. So, in a perfect world, go ahead to get away, and I'll ask the questions just to get away and rejuvenate, right?
Yeah, me and my wife done decided we're gonna do that every 90 days, cause you gotta have a reset.
Yes.
And so, man, like we went in this tree house, and she tell me it's the best anniversary gift, and I'm like, man, too, we slept all day. Like we ain't never slept before.
Where is that?
Cook. It's right out. It's before Sevilleville, before Knoxville. It's in the boondocks. Barely have phone service. Okay. That's what I wanted. That's what she wanted.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, but see, I go places and we together, and people recognize me. You know, I don't like telling people no on a picture if they see me, but it irritates her because she wants me.
Right. I get it. I understand. And that's
about it.
Okay. I mean, what's your contact information? If somebody wanted to get in touch with you, if somebody wanted to reach out to you to come out to your program, tell us the address again. If there's an email address or a number.
Well, I'm funny about it. I give you my social media, which is Mr. 100 Nashville on Instagram. Chef Sterling Wright.
You're breaking up on me, sir.
I usually respond. Other than that, man.
I don't know what's going on, but you sounding like a robot on me. Yeah, now I can hear you much better.
Hello?
Yeah. Hello?
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 Yeah, I'm going through the back. I'm going through the back. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you now. I can hear you a lot better. Yes, I can hear you a lot better now.
I'm the back road. The back road. Now you sound like a robot.
Now you sound a lot clearer. You must have came out of the back road.
Hello?
Hello? Hello? Hello?
Yeah, I'm going through bad areas. Can you hear me now?
Yeah.
Can you hear me? Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you now. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
I was going through the back. I was going through the back. I was going through the back roads, man. I ain't gonna leave without, you know what I'm saying, a prayer or something, you know. That's the devil. I like about this. That's the devil trying to stop what God wants to do for us.
Yes. You know what it did? It took out everything you said about your social media.
When you went to you again.
Yes, sir.
100.
For some reason, Sterling, the devil don't want you to throw it out there. Every time you start saying
that. It's Chef Sterling Wright. You know, and you DM me.
Sterling.
Again, that's what. Hit you up.
Hey.
You know, they can hit you up.
Yes, they can hit me up and get the information.
Yes, sir. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you better now. I don't know.
Can you hear me?
What side of
Can you hear
town
me?
are you on?
Can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
You keep going. If you can hear me, Sterling, I don't know what side of town you're on, but you keep going in and out like a radio. I never knew that we had this many dead spots in Nashville.
Man, and I'm heading home.
It is rough. It must be a lot of people using cell phones out there.
I look at it this, man. If something don't need to be heard, that's why I look at it.
Oh, okay. I mean, it is what it is. But let's end this on a good note. Let's say a good old prayer, my brother.
That's what's up, man. I don't want to close my eyes. I'm driving. But
okay, don't close your eyes. Don't close your eyes. You hear me?
Yeah, I hear you.
Okay, I said don't close your eyes. I want you to be safe, but I'm going to say a good old prayer.
Okay.
All right. Lord, thank you for bringing me and Sterling together. You know the path that we have been down, and you know that the path that we are headed down. Thank you for the gifts that you have given us that we have received in your honor. And thank you for giving us the day that we can wake up and we can shout from the mountaintops and the valleys to show your grace and your mercy and to show what you have done for us and have and will do for us in this life that we are walking through on this earth. In your son Jesus Christ's name I pray. Amen.
Man, thank you for having me, man. It was truly an honor to talk to somebody that God is really working through, man. You be blessed, man. And I'm going to send you my phone number. Is that your... Can you call me once we hang up?
Yeah, that was... You want me to call you when I hang up?
Please, I want to just share something with you.
Yes, sir. All righty, my brother.
All right, thanks. All right, y'all. Everybody be safe and have a good night and keep God first and watch the results.
Yes, sir.
Place for brothers. Yeah. The Kickback. A place for brothers. Yeah. The Kickback. A place for brothers. Yeah. The Kickback. A place for brothers. The Kickback. A place for brothers. The Kickback. A place for brothers. The Kickback. A place for brothers.